Yeah.
With Klepto? Oh, never mind.
No, we can't do that anymore.
That's a rough one. Yeah.
I do think that Fnatic could consider, I was going to say they could consider locking in the mid lane now, but I guess the jungler makes more sense considering they've already locked in top and they see enemy jungle as well. Mad Lions, do you think they're just going to go for a standard Aatrox, which is something that we've seen most commonly as an answer to Sett in the top lane, or do you think that they're the kind of team that will play something more creative?
I think they're going to go something standard, whether it be like an Aatrox or an Ornn. I'm not sure. But GP as well, you can play. Oh, yeah, okay, sure.
Wait, what are your thoughts on GP into Sett then? Tell us.
I mean, it definitely loses lane, but I think GP is just like so strong, like after lane, that it can be worth picking. It just kind of depends on how you like confident you are, how you're feeling. So it's like playable for both sides. Just have to see whether Fnatic can take advantage of it early game.
I was wondering, because you have the Elise, right? So if when you pair Elise up with Sett, that to me suggests that Fnatic is already looking for an early dive top. Are these the kind of things that you think about in draft with like early game plans of your opposition?
For sure. I don't think it's like Sett and Elise are like a combo. That you have to, like, dive top. I think just Elise in general, you already think it's a top laner.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So,
Fnatic banning Cassio is kind of odd, right? Because I thought that this would be the go-to blind pick, especially with LeBlanc and Syndra out. So it's kind of big question mark what Nemesis is going to blind pick here on blue side. Because usually you go to
Is
LeBlanc,
he a Zoe player?
I can't remember him playing Zoe,
I don't think it, like the only other pick I'm thinking of is Ryze. So the assumption is that they either believe that MAD will not pick Ryze here so that they can blind pick it, or they assume that MAD is going for Ryze and they have a counter pick prepared, which isn't the Cassio. And the Cassio ban is to try and force the opposition onto a Ryze or to get it for
I guess they have the
themselves.
Vega, right? They have the Vega in the pockets and,
Why are you laughing out, Fari?
Vega's a great champion.
I think it's pretty troll too, man. I'm with you.
Bad.
But then the question of Humanoid and playing something immobile. I think he's kind of cursed with the idea of playing Akali and LeBlanc champions with 15 jumps. That's what he's relying on, and now he's going to play something immobile and die maybe 5 times on side. My prediction.
Okay. I think Fnatic is likely to do a Ryze plus Nautilus here. I think currently they're lacking some form of reliable engage. I think the Nautilus matchup into Rakan is fine, and you also have the win condition of playing through side if you can't snowball early, because Ryze not only outscales the GP, but again, because the Cassio is gone, Mad Lions are limited in terms of what they can answer to match with. So like those are the 2 picks that I would be looking at if I'm Fnatic right now, but again, it's the Cassio ban that makes you question if they want to force Mad into a Ryze pick, but I think it would be dumb not to pick it now.
Genius, Veddy.
There you go.
Holy moly.
Veddy just lays down the law.
What's the 5th pick here? I honestly, Humanoid, he can't pick Kiana. His full AD team.
It's
LeBlanc is out.
the Veigar. It's the Veigar.
It's the Veigar.
He's going to play
Vega's the
Veigar.
Veigar.
Yeah. He's going to play Veigar.
Oh. Vel'Koz.
The mathematician.
Vel'Koz into Ryze? Is that good?
It's all right. I think the matchup is all right. It's not, it isn't necessarily...
Okay.
That's fine.
More standard.
Yeah, that's a little bit more standard. So, overall impressions of the comps, do you think the one side has won the draft, Fari?
I feel like Fnatic won the draft. I'm not like sold on the Zoe too much. I feel like Fnatic just have a lot of tools to get ahead early game, and then they just win sides. So Mad Lions have to play really well around tempo to just make it close mid-late.
I
Full agreement, yeah.
Okay, so they've got to drag them to that late game. A player to watch, though, from that Mad Lions side, if there was going to be a win condition, one player to step up, who would you have your eyes on? You said you're not having faith in Zoe, so, I mean...
I think it has to be Kaiser.
Yeah.
I think he has to like find some crazy engages. Maybe like him and Shadow. They are pretty like proactive champions in Rakan and Elise, so let's see if they can make some early game plays.
Let's see. We're going to strap ourselves in. Anyone else to add to that list, Veddy, before we jump in?
I think it's going to be a tough game for Mad, but this will be a great opportunity to prove themselves if they can turn this one around in their favor.
As the coaches shake hands, Mithy looking ever stunning in his turtleneck. He stole it from me, I swear. But we are going to be jumping into this one very shortly. Fans favouring Fnatic, there's no doubt about it. So, we prepare ourselves. Hylissang, of course, preparing himself for some aggressive support work. Yamato, we haven't heard from you. What do you think, mate?
Honestly, I think Fnatic hard-won draft. I don't see at what point Mad Lions' draft is going to be better.
Yep, let's jump in. The teams are ready on the stage, so let's hit the riff for our match of the week.
Welcome back to the Caster Desk. Quickshot and Ender bringing you the last game here of week 4. The second last game of the first round robin. Next Friday, every team will have played against every other team in the league at least once. Now we get to see what can the new, young, hungry squad of Mad Lions do against Fnatic in our match of the week. And immediately looking at the lanes, I want to see what's going to happen in the Sett versus Gangplank lane, and frankly, where Selfmade and Shadow are going to find their impact, because both of these players have got champions that can heavily swing the early game.
Yeah, but both junglers, of course, going to be able to have big impact, as you said. I do think talking about the top lane is a little bit fun here, especially because, you know, Bwipo, we said he brought out all these crazy picks, right? The Singed in the top lane, the Rengar, he does it all. And then he just, like, boringly picks the Sett, right? And it's like, okay, well, that's not exactly it. But Orome is going to have a challenge here, too, because, like, the Sett we have seen be quite strong, especially in some one-on-one matchups. But I think early levels, GP does have some really great tools to try and fight. You're going to see he's going to be the first one into the lane. And then what he probably wants to do at level 1 is just trade really, really aggressively with the parlay. You see he has the corrupting potions, too. So he could over-trade almost, in a sense, in this early lane phase, because you know Elise isn't going to gank you until level 3, and then probably look for an early reset too to restock on those corrupting potion stacks.
Okay, so we'll see what sort of advantage Orome can build up, and then whether or not he can maintain it, of course. That's going to be the interesting one to play out. Rekkles and Hylissang with the Aphelios and the Nautilus down in the bottom lane, stepping forward. Kaiser and Carzzy trying to push out as best they can with that double up. While that's going on, the trading early on. How is this one played out, Ender?
Yeah, well, as I was sort of mentioning, like, Orome can get a little bit more aggressive. I'm almost a bit surprised in the way that he's letting Bwipo stack up a wave. But with the knowledge that Shadow's going to be pathing up towards him, like, maybe he looks for a gank, but I don't actually think this lane is super gankable. Whenever you have a GP on your team, you don't really tend to look towards their lane, especially early on, unless he's able to put down a whole bunch of chip damage. But now you can see, like, with it, when his passive comes up as well, if he hasn't been using that to clear out minions, like, he can get quite aggro and win a lot of these trades.
Ooh, flash for flash. Now Kaiser gets a knock up onto Hilly. I think trading support for AD can prove beneficial. Yesterday, of course, Hylissang was in the reverse matchup, if I recall correctly, and he conceded first blood after being hooked.
I mean, conceded's one way to word it.
It's a word for it, of course. But now I want to see whether or not they can catch Carzzy, of course, being flashless, and the fact that Selfmade's made his way down. He's level 3. It's Elise. There is tower dive potential, but how risky is this?
Well, it can get a little bit risky. Fnatic bot lane just ticked over to level 3, though I think they're going to want to try to make this play. They want to go for this, but Shadow also on the hunt here, maybe suspecting something. This could get bloody.
This is a 3v3. The boop lands onto Carzzy. Cocoon kicks it out onto Kaiser, and he's going to go down. Trader 1-for-1. Hylissang goes up. Defensive flashes as Rekkles and Selfmade run for their lives. 1-for-1.
Yeah, I mean, it was nicely done there by Kaiser to get the double knock-up that was able to turn it into a 1-for-1 trade, but it's still a big blow to Carzzy right there, who went down in the trade and lost so many minions underneath that tower. That's not just one wave, because they'd stacked up 2 waves. I think that might be a 3rd wave down there too. Like, that is rough for the Misfortune.
Yeah, so important to note all the experience and gold that's lost as well. I'm keeping my eyes on Kaiser for the double knockup.
Yeah, so here he goes. He hits Hylissang, who of course is tanking the tower, and then also Rekkles, who has the red gun on Aphelios, so a whole lot of damage able to come through there. That means Selfmade is the one to pick up the kill. And Shadow just shows up a little bit late there, not even able to pick up an assist, unfortunately, for him.
No, he didn't. Hylissang has already left the lane. The dredge line comes up, but he's put to sleep while he's flying. Takes a very short-range paddle star, Sonic Wave into the resonating strike, but the dash forward from Kaiser. He's knocked up Hilly, who's flashless, and goes down again. Mad Lions responding, reading Fnatic like a book.
It's such a great read right there. Both Kaiser and Shadow communicating, saying this is a gank opportunity for Fnatic. We're going to be here around the mid lane, and Hylissang, who lost his flash in that previous trade, is already going to be down 2 kills pre-5 minutes. It's going to be a big loss for them. And also, when you consider that, like, coming out of this draft, I was expecting, like, how do Fnatic start plays out, especially in the early to mid game? It's going to be through Selfmade and Hylissang. So their first gank already got stopped. Now Selfmade up in the top side of the map, looking for a cocoon, but right now the wave should be pushing back towards Bwipo's side. That's what Selfmade wants to wait for.
So I think Orome just ate the orange. That is on a fairly high cooldown. If Selfmade can find the skill shot, this would prove problematic. Bwipo just eats a powder cake to the face. Look for the cocoon! It's not gonna land just yet. There it goes out, it's wide! It's wide, it's my favorite spell, and he held it. He baited me, but he gets the flash.
Oh, it's not over yet. Quickshot. Nemesis is here. Now there's a big wave they need to clear. He starts flashing in.
Ah, there we go. Manages to connect the Rune Prison, throwing out the overloads as well. Not going to be enough damage, and Orome is able to just walk away. Fnatic throw the kitchen sink at Mad Lions and get nothing for it.
Fnatic are just so impatient right there, right? Like, Bwipo had a wave pushing back towards him. Selfmade obviously wanted to make that play before Orome's W came back off of cooldown, but that initial gank didn't work after holding on to the cocoon. And then Nemesis, without the minion wave there flashing forward, was just very, very optimistic because they couldn't actually press any further for that dive.
Yeah, they absolutely could not, and that ends up being a situation where Mad Lions, 2 kills to 1, they get the first Drake of the game. They have a very minor advantage. And just while we got a momentary respite, because we've seen so much happening between Nemesis and Selfmade, I showed those tweets a little earlier, right? As hype as this bot lane matchup is. You know, Peter Dunn wanted to remind everyone of where Selfmade and Nemesis were from. So the response is, I am from Slovenia, Selfmade is from Poland, just in case anybody wanted to know. Now I need to know where Selfmade and Nemesis will find some impact in the game. Selfmade obviously had that play down in the bot lane, but did not make it pay off in the top lane.
The most literal response I have ever seen.
I did not tell Ender that this was happening.
I had no idea that was coming.
A little bit of like a quick shot moment. But to bring it back in, Mad Lions, they're responding to the plays that Fnatic are making, and they are the ones in the lead.
Yeah, they've got a slight lead at the moment. I want to see how they push it forward, because now Rome's hit level 6. Shadow has about a half level lead over Selfmade 2, so unlocking level 6 on Lee Sin gives him a whole lot more kill pressure, especially like mid lane doesn't have a flash, top lane doesn't have a bot lane. Like, everyone has their abilities off of cooldown, so now would be a great opportunity to look for a play.
Yeah, it definitely finds the hook through the minions, but no real damage to follow it up. Selfmade is now snuck into the bush.
Yeah.
He can swing around the alcove if Carzzy and Kaiser step.
It's a play Selfmade likes to go for a lot, right? When his team is communicating with him, like the waves pushing in, like sneak into the lane. We've seen him do it multiple times already throughout this split, so good on Mad Lions to say, hey, we'll back up now. We'll potentially offer up Fnatic a freeze and just leave that lane. Come support our jungler on the top side of the map right around that 8-minute mark when Herald is spawning for the first time. So Mad Lions are playing very fast already in this game, and they see Selfmade bot side too, which makes this so safe.
And while that was going on, I'm noticing Shadow and Humanoid, they were moving through the river together, and something we were talking about during the draft end, it was just how the two of those can combine for some pick potential. You know, if they do manage to find those bubbles or move around the map. I want to see what level of impact can happen as the first Gangplank ultimate, I believe, of the game is now thrown down bottom. Clear that one out. Rekkles takes a turret shot to the face, but Orome will defend it and allow him a little bit of extra time to shove in and give Shadow the safety to pick up the Herald.
It's really nice having the GP ult whenever a lane swap comes through, because you can play the entire map and just soak up one entire lane from the enemy team. Fnatic so stalled out on that push, and now by bringing both Carzzy, Kaiser, and Shadow into the mid lane, they're just going to break the mid lane tower. Like, they dropped that so late, even though the resistances are shooting up with each plate taken on this tower. Shelly doing true damage should knock this out in one charge.
Peter Dunn's going to be so happy with the start of this. The tower should just fall. It does. Tower first blood picked up. The engage isn't done yet. There comes Shadow. Manages to find the kick, and Nemesis goes down. Target number 1. Peter Dunn is happy. Shelly will get a secondary charge.
I love it.
This is going to be a second tower. The minion wave can't get cleared out, and Selfmade is just watching it go down. Shadow lands the Sonic Wave, doesn't follow it up, and that bottom tower is still standing. And
yeah, so Fnatic are trading this to try and get as much gold onto Rekkles as possible. You can see he has a big CS lead over Carzzy as well, because Carzzy has been grouping up with Humanoid in the mid lane, but that is a massive win here for the Mad Lions. The turret only getting tankier. Humanoid should be able to sprint down here and stop that tower from falling too, so Mad Lions will hold on to this for the time being, and just really solid stuff all around from them. On the team level, playing around the map, responding to action from Fnatic, Shadow coming in for the nice kick. They're like, everything's sort of coming together for Mad Lions in this early game.
Yeah, and I think the one caveat to that is the fact that Rekkles has had a lot of sort of uninterrupted farming time. 94 CS in around 10 minutes. We look at some of his stats league-wide. Highest K plus A at 15 minutes. Average 5.9 CSD. This game's going to help bump that if the trend continues. Goal difference at 15. So he's sick, like really good stats. He's on a champion that can scale and be very influential in the late game, but he's sort of in the rock that Fnatic have been able to rely on, especially true this year. And I want to see what Mad Lions do to interrupt his flow.
Yeah, because he's been a beast so far this year, and there's a lot of good tools for Mad Lions to try and dive onto him, right? The Gangplank ultimate against any marksman is going to be really, really frustrating. Just that zone control later on in the team fights, as well as like Zoe bubbles flying in all over the place too. So it'll be Mad Lions' mission later this game gets, just zone him away from team fights for as long as possible. But their mission for now is just take all the objectives, right? They're grouping up on that bot lane turret, trading that for topside, but it's at the same time that the Ocean Drake is spawning. So they're going to trade 2 for 1 overall in this play.
And this is just going to be a really strong start. 1,000 gold up still. Tower plates still alive for 3 more minutes. And Mad Lions, they've started the Dragon, but it's not going to be uncontested. Orome gets caught by the Dredge line. He's able to flash away to safety, but now Kaiser is taking some damage. Cannon Barrage comes down as the Dragon is secured. The paddle star into Nemesis was mental. So much damage.
Oh, Hylissang!
Goes down again. 0-3-1. Humanoid's able to escape with the cleanse, and now here comes Bwipo. He manages to get the ultimate down before getting slept. He's going to catch Humanoid against the wall, and the true damage takes him out. Bwipo shining to save the day, but Hilly at 0-3-1. He is not having a strong weekend, and it doesn't look too damaging right at the second.
Yeah, Bwipo's just trying to put the pieces back together, still playing very far forward in this lane, feeling quite comfortable on the set, even though he hasn't quite finished off the Trinity Force for now in this game. But like, Fnatic need to reel in Hylissang, right? This has been a consistent problem through the split, through the history of Hylissang. Like, we know this guy is a monster when it matters, and he's on the Nautilus too, so he's going to be sacrificing himself a lot, but they need to play these fights a whole lot slower to find, a fight when you actually can bring Bwipo in, because otherwise you have no one that can dive next to that Hylissang.
And I think when you zoom out and you look at the fact that, yes, Bwipo did get a kill and take a couple of plates off that mid tower. I think it may have just been 1 or 2. Down in the bottom lane, it's down to a single turret plate left. The Dragon was picked up as well. Now all kudos as Bwipo and Rekkles will find themselves a kill onto Orome. He had no tower to play with. It is Rekkles that picks that one up. 1-0-2. 114 CS. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it! Hylissang finds himself in front of a Shadow, but can he escape with his life? Gets knocked up by Kaiser, dropped down to 300 HP, no flash available to him. And Shadow picks up another. Just a little unfortunate, maybe, but the rest of his team was on the top half of the map, and he concedes yet another day.
You're a support. Why are you in bot lane when you're AD carrying the rest of your team is top? Like, Fnatic are doing everything in their power to stay in this game, but they're going in mid.
Kaiser is here, doesn't find the knockup, but the Fangs get sunk in. Humanoid stays alive, and the portal jump manages to keep him out to safety. I think Kaiser's influence plus the quickness managed to keep Humanoid alive.
That's a great trade for Mad, though. 2 flashes blown on both Selfmade and Nemesis, 2 major playmakers on the side of Fnatic. And Humanoid, he gains a flash from that trade. He just picks that one up himself, so going to be very, very comfortable moving forward in that trade. And they still hold on to this gold advantage as well. So as long as they can try to explode, I think, with their composition through this mid game, it'll be good. But Orome once again on a weak side, getting caught out.
Oh man, you just died here a moment ago. Gets caught by the cocoon, pulled backwards by Bwipo, and the kill will be secured by the boss himself. 4 kills to 5. Fnatic are still down 1,000 gold, and for every time Orome has been caught out of position, Hylissang has 2. So both teams giving up a little bit of gold, and we need to see who will be able to benefit from that the most in the coming minutes?
I think if we're just looking at the kill trades and not, you know, the towers in Mad Lions' favors, the objectives too, like, this has to benefit Fnatic because Orome is getting stalled out on that Trinity Force. Not only, like, Bwipo just finished his on the Sett. Orome is going to be down quite a lot of gold, 1,400 at the moment, and he invested 1,100 into the Ninja Tabbies too, which is a good 1v1 item purchase against the Sett, but there's a lot of CC, there's a lot of magic damage coming through from Nemesis and Selfmade, and the later I look into this game, I think it's Nemesis that matches Orome in the side lane too, so these Ninja Tabbies are not going to be quite as valuable the later we go, and for now it just stalls out on that Triforce.
And if I remember correctly, you picked up that Rod of Ages 2 minutes ago. Well, I can just do basic math here. So he's got the tier stacking. He's going to have that Roa in the early 20-minute mark and going to be that monster that we know Ryze can become. So Fnatic have prioritized this mid lane wave.
Oh, Orome's getting caught again.
Shoved it up. To see go down, you have to expect he will. Rune Prism will be available in a moment. Will eat himself an orange and will be okay for now, but Hylissang...
He's Hex Flashing over the wall.
Hex Flash over the wall, Dredge Line will find the target, and Rekkles with the ultimate sends it in. It is going to be Nemesis that picks it up. 5 kills to 5. Gold is now even, but look at the top lane.
Yeah, in the top lane, they have the Rift Herald too, so we get the split screens. This is going for the inhibitor tower. Likely unable to get the inhib themselves, but they will be able to break through this structure.
All right, Bwipo's here to try to defend, but it is a 1-on-3 if he decides to engage. Inhibitor is now exposed. And what is the trade in the bottom lane? The inner turret still stands. So Mad Lions, they come away with the extra towers, 6-3. But now, of course, those minions are going to be pushing in favor, you know, towards Fnatic. They can keep catching them, keep farming them up because there's no tower to take them out.
Yeah, that's going to be good news for Fnatic on the top side of the map, but as we look forward, there's going to be a Drake spawning. Mountain in 10 more seconds. Fnatic already back onto the map. I think this is going to be a really big engagement for both teams. No flash on Nemesis is going to be a really big deal here. No flash on Hylissang either. So the engage tools are here for Mad Lions if they can connect.
Oh man, something I just missed as well while we were taking a look at that dragon setup. Nemesis, he did the TP back to base as well. We'll see if it's influential as Bwipo goes in with that suplex. Manages to get the dunk down. Massive amounts of damage in reply, but it's Carzzy that gets one and Shadow follows up.
And the GP ult by itself completely zoned Rekkles away from that team fight. We were talking about it before. That one ability can ruin Fnatic's day, and Mad Lions are going to be just one more Drake away from that Dragon Soul.
I heard so much chatter around why is this match of the week. Look at this. Fnatic are so heavily favored, but Mad Lions and Peter Dunn have shown in the opening 15 minutes they can trade blow for blow. They can respond to Fnatic's playbooks, and with team fights like this, they've put themselves in a strong position going into the mid-game.
Yeah, so watch how this GP ult completely ends it. Hylissang has to walk away, Rekkles has to walk away, so while Bwipo thought he was the one getting the pick, it is a 5 versus 2 on the top side of the map. Fnatic, I mean, like, what can they do but run away from that point? That is a 0-3 GP without his first item. He did 77 damage, but he solo won that fight.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And I mean, the total damage to champions, don't read into this too much. You know, Bwipo managed to get like a 5-man true damage.
I've never seen someone carry as hard while dealing so little damage.
There we go. That's the case. But look, Mad Lions, they still 2k up. And I've heard it today, I've heard it earlier from Medivedi, from the analyst desk, that when we have these young teams that are full of rookies, the early game, they tend to be able to go blow for blow. They tend to be able to match. They're skilled players. It's the next 10 minutes that we need to watch to really understand how strong this team is. And Mad Lions are one of the squads on the cusp of being playoff worthy. So I need to see how well they can play with the lead in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, so Mad Lions trying to speed things up while Fnatic try to slow things down. We saw in the bot lane, the true Savant Nemesis trying his best to set up a freeze down there. Now, as soon as he saw the rest of Mad Lions running down, he immediately broke it, right? So he cleared all of those minions away with fear that he was going to be dove. So he was trying and soak up a lot, but now a TP comes in from Bwipo. They're going to look for the back line here. This should be a good fight.
Orome's got no ultimate either. The kick back onto Hylissang. He stays alive for a few seconds longer, but that is a single pick onto Humanoid. Bullet time goes between the uprights. Nobody taken out. Ignite finally takes down Hylissang. It's a 1-for-1 mid for support. That is a trade that Fnatic will be happy with. However, they did commit the additional teleport.
Yeah, and the teleport is going to be one of their biggest ways to start a fight. No!
Selfmade gets caught out. He just gets, this is not your jungle, while Mad Lions are retreating through it. Fnatic, maybe not fully in the game right now. He just got caught out yet again.
Yeah, so here comes the TP in from the backside. You can see Bwipo on the attack, and this is where Sett is in his element. Because when he runs straight in a line at you with the rest of his team, he can't really do a whole lot. When he comes in from behind, there is almost no counterplay to him, especially when the rest of your team is not trying to peel him away. Good news for MAD is they were able to trade 1-for-1 in the end, and then they got Selfmade too, because coming out of that play, Orome was seen running up towards the top side. So Selfmade, hey, he thought he was safe. He was not safe, Trevor.
Definitely not the case. And I'm going to ask a follow-up, because you said just a moment ago, obviously Mad Lions, they want to accelerate this game. Trinity Force was just picked up there by Orome, and I think Black Cleaver by Shadow a moment or two, if I read that graphic correctly. But how do Fnatic bring themselves back in? Yes, they have to slow. Yes, they have to scale. But how does their comp scale as you move into the second and third item phase?
Well, I think we're always going to have to look at Nemesis in the side lane, because at 2 items currently, like, Humanoid never wants to be there, so he can't match them. Orome, while he likes to be in a side lane, isn't a great duelist, you know? He was set very far behind. And now, wait, Fnatic? How crazy?
Are they doing this?
Okay, so Selfmade actually has quite a bit of healing coming in from his W. Rekkles has the chakrams too, so Mad Lions are sprinting over here. Shadow is on the wrong side of the map, but Mad should be able to stall and end this.
Yeah, the bullet time plus any Zoe poke is going to be so disastrous for Fnatic. But that is one of the, Fnatic specials. They have snuck Barons many times in the past. They still find themselves in a deficit. They were able to slow Mad, force Mad to come to them, but now Mad Lions, 1 minute to Mountain Drake. I want to see who gets vision control.
Yeah, so I was just about to say, like, this feels almost like a bit of a fake deficit to me, because so much of the gold is actually in Shadow, right? He's 4-0-3 on the Elise. If you compare top laners, at the moment, it's a 1k lead for Bwipo. Looking at mid laners too, right? You have 2 completed items on Nemesis while he's still trying to stack up. He feels quite good.
300 difference
Exactly.
is nothing.
Yeah, and then in bot lane, right, I think Carzzy just finished off his item, so he is still going to have the lead, I think, in the head-to-head if he lands a good bullet time. But right again, 2 items with both these players.
If you'll allow me, would it be fair to say one caveat? If Shadow can find the kick onto either Rekkles or Nemesis, that gold...
Oh, this is a close fight for sure, and Shadow might just win it here.
He's gonna... Oh! And he finds it! That gold lead means all the difference, but now the rest of the fight needs to go well.
He got Carzzy!
Goes down, AD for AD. The 4-man stack of the Mad Lions are now turning their attention onto the boss. Bwipo is running for his life. He's forced to flash defensively. It's a 1-for-2.
Watch Humanoid.
Those Mad Lads are
He landed it!
Sleepy, Trouble, Bubble, Paddle Star. Not enough damage just yet. Sonic Wave aside step. Bwipo with the blue suede shoes gets away. Knock up from Kaiser. Manages to knock up Nemesis.
Humanoid!
It's running for his life. Repels up, goes down. Mad Lions ace Fnatic.
What an absolute monster. Humanoid landed everything when it mattered. Sleep after sleep. Paddle Star after Paddle Star, he was absolutely on point in that team fight. We came in thinking Fnatic had a chance, but starting with Lee Sin's flank Shadow, like, just, it was beautiful at the start. You see he finds Rekkles immediately, cancels him out in the middle of his ultimate. The sleep goes down onto him too, so Rekkles doesn't stand a chance, and that's where things look like they might get a little bit closer, because Carzzy goes down, but then just watch the clinic that Humanoid puts on from this point on.
Unbelievable. And we were just talking about the fact that Shadow had all the gold lead. Shadow had all the advantage. He finds the angle in. And then Humanoid lands every single skill shot.
And he uses the dead turret too to extend the range on this next bubble coming on in. Nemesis is like, that doesn't seem fair. He gets sniped out of midair, and then Selfmade, he's stuck without a team.
LEC fans and viewers, this weekend G2 went 0-2. Mad Lions, the rookie squad, going up against Fnatic. Look at the damage from Humanoid.
I wasn't kidding when I said he was popping off, man.
They're in a commanding position. We could see Mad Lions for a gigantic surprise. Hylissang, Dredgeline goes out. Maybe
he's got him.
It didn't hit, but it's not going to be enough. Humanoid gets another 6, 2, and 5. The rest of Mad, they're on the Baron.
Mad Lions are still on the Baron. Nemesis is bot lane with a teleport. Does he even want to come in? Without Hylissang, Bwipo's the only person that can step forward, but he has no wards. They can't get into this pit, even though they see exactly what Mad Lions are doing.
Okay, Rekkles is stepping backwards. The Baron is picked up. There's 4 Drakes in the inventory of Mad Lions. Elder is coming up in 4.5 minutes. A 27-minute Elder, and that will be followed a couple minutes after that by the next Baron. This is going to be such a difficult game from the Fnatic perspective. but they do have some tools to stall. They cannot afford to keep losing those team fights.
Oh, close bubble right there. Looking to find Nemesis. Now this brings us to the big advantage, the big strength that Mad Lions do have in their comp, and that's going to come down to range. Primarily in the top lane and mid lane too, because right now, no one on Fnatic can reliably hit Humanoid. With Hylissang getting caught out at the start, there's not that CC to find him. So Fnatic have to play around to the fog of war like they are right now, hiding in the spot lane. If Humanoid walks into this bush, oh no.
Fnatic bush, Fnatic bush, Fnatic bush, guess the right bush, guess the right bush, you did not guess the right bush! That's gonna be a flash away, Shadow stays alive for a few seconds longer, continues to chase, safeguards away.
But look at the mid lane, look at the mid lane, they're pushing down here, they have the Baron minions, and they're still looking for kills.
Gets slept, Bwipo is in trouble, manages to go super save the roll. I didn't even see that one channeling, but that will allow Fnatic to escape with their lives. The inhibitor turret will go down, and the rest of Mad Lions escape. The Fnatic death bush did not deliver death today.
Yeah, right now Mad Lions get that inhib tower in mid lane, so that means 2 exposed inhibitors. They're also going to fully clear through that topside jungle, so denying a blue buff away from Nemesis, denying more potential gold and experience, because if you look across the board, oh, Orome gets caught!
He does indeed remove Scurvy, will be using just a moment or two, flashes away to safely, that flamethrower.
TP behind as well, Bwipo's coming in, he's going to find Humanoid.
Alright, the Sleepy Trouble Bubble will find its target, that means
look at Shadow!
Shadow stays alive, he's managed to obliterate Hylissang. Now Bwipo's running for his life. He runs into Orome. There is a loss of Shadow though as Bwipo now finds himself in between two. He's going to take so much damage. Stays alive with the shield. Gets the ultimate down. Orome will find
here's the flank, Kaiser!
Here comes Kaiser. Instant cocoon. Spiders can kill birds in some parts of the world. And for now, Kaiser stays alive. Rekkles goes gold and the bullet time doesn't take him out. Selfmade's trying to disrupt in the back, but it won't be enough. Nemesis now standing alone at the tower as Selfmade's running for his life.
Oh, Rekkles, he goes down. Carzzy waited so long to find that kill up against his idol, but he reaches around and smacks Rekkles down. Now so many members of Fnatic off the board. Mad Lions are looking to destroy their base.
27 kills in 26 minutes. It is week 4, and these games will matter as we continue to play out the rest of the spring split. Mad Lions standing at 4-3. If they close this game out, they will tie in the standings with Fnatic at 5-3. And this is how the previous engage starts, with Orome getting caught, but the turnaround from Mad was fantastic.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is they can't quite lock down Orome here, and with the TP coming in, he just finds Humanoid and gets instantly slept. So the engage doesn't quite work, and then with the zoning tools and Shadow finding the 1-for-1 in the back, Fnatic are a little confused, because yes, they need to help Bwipo, but also they need to go back and potentially save their base. But now they're caught in a tough position after trying to run towards Bwipo, where Kaiser comes around from the side, and Carzzy is also here for the damage. He walks up, he knows that with the rappel up, he can't be CC'd, he can't be locked down, so he goes straight up and bops Rekkles in the face.
It's just so exciting to see these types of games playing out, and despite Rekkles looking quite uncomfortable right now, it's Carzzy, the man that's opposite number, that has spoken quite highly about what it means to come up against Rekkles and play on the LEC stage. If these rookies can continue this level of performance, we are in for a hell of a regular season. But now, can Mad Lions finish it out? Inhibitor down in the bottom lane. Inhibitor available mill. 40 seconds for Elder, 2 minutes for Baron, and they're looking for the objective.
Mad Lions going to look for the inhibitor right now. Still playing it slow, still playing a little bit safe. Top lane exposed too, but they don't want to lose a fight right now. If you lose a fight right now, you also then lose the Elder Dragon. So you want to get this and get out as fast as possible.
Sleepy Trouble Bubble, we're both clenching and nervous. Hilly takes a paddle star and loses 50% HP. The exhaust was just chucked out there from, I believe, Zoe, preventing Bwipo going any further. 1, 2, 3 inhibitors down. Mad Lions, they're not done yet.
I mean, they're sticking around. I don't think they can do this. They need to back away and go for the Elder Dragon. The minions are being cleared out. They're wasting valuable time here, just trying to push on through. They have super minions in all 3 lanes, doubles on each wave. All you have to do is walk towards the Elder. You can have Shadow solo it or with Carzzy, and then play for picks with Zoe and your Rakan inside the jungle, because look, you have the vision you need in order to make it so Fnatic can't walk in.
Definitely the case. And now Fnatic, they have to find a miracle. Dredge line again. This time around, Hylissang escapes with his life. 0, 8, and 4. Not having a great game, and I don't want to pin it all on Hylissang. Multiple members of Fnatic have been caught out throughout the course of this game. And all credit to Mad Lions because they put themselves in a position with vision, with reaction to where Fnatic were moving. It does feel to me that Mad Lions' game plan from early has been able to counter what Fnatic was throwing down.
I really love what I've been seeing from Mad, and I think so much of the conversation around this team has been, we're excited to see so many of these rookies. We think this could be a pretty good team, but it's like a playoffs like barrier team, like 5th or 6th place. Good performances like this against the top teams are going to try and change perception, and right now, they should just get a free Baron buff. Fnatic cannot leave their base with all the minions flooding into it right now, so all Fnatic are going to try to do is get as much golden experience from these waves as possible, and then go for this last-ditch effort fight against this Baron. This next fight will decide whether or not Mad Lions can finish out right here, and if they can't, then Fnatic will get so much off of the golden EXP from those minions flooding that they maybe can try and turn around.
I mean, it is terrifying with Baron, with Elder. Mithy's face in the coach camp says it all.
Humanoid also just finished off his Rabadon, so he is monstrous on this level 16, so you have to engage quickly or you will be poked down. This is where Mad Lions look to find the win.
All right, Rekkles has already used the ultimate.
But on the flank!
It's coming in from behind. He manages to throw the ulti down, but Hylissang's already in trouble. He's just obliterated where he stands. Rekkles will get taken out by Shadow. Mad Lions have done it. They've taken out Fnatic. They're looking for the last kill onto Selfmade. Turn their attention to the Nexus, and Mad Lions defeat Fnatic.
Just a beautiful performance coming through from Mad against the favorites in Fnatic. I think Humanoid had a ridiculous game on this Zoe. Fight after fight landing absolutely everything. Shadow on this Lee Sin tracking up against Selfmade in a matchup we thought was going to be a mismatch. Mad Lions came out and surprised and looked real good while doing it.
When I think about the first few plays around the roams to mid lane, where Mad Lions were there and available, the outplays from Orome in a 1v2, 1v3, those small momentum builders just started the snowball, and from then on, Mad Lions took control of the game. They played the objective fights well. They responded. They punished the mistakes from Fnatic, which have to be called out. And at the end of the day, Mad Lions, they showed up and they won the match of the week.
Yeah, I mean, Mad Lions, they kept it close with all those plays you were talking about. That first fight around the Dragon is really what separated everything. The ultimate from Orome to completely zone Rekkles from the fight. To come around for a lot of high fives. I guess we're going to join in on it too.
Oh yeah, we have to get in that. Oh, fist bumps are breaking the rules, dude. There we go. Nicely done. Congratulations. There was a lot of fans here in front of the stage. That's not quite traditional, but I dig it. I like it. And again, key player of the game, head out to Twitter at LEC, vote for Shadow, Humanoid, or Kaiser. I think it is very exciting seeing young, hungry rookies showing up. It is 1 game out of 18. It is week 4 of 9. It is not a hyperbolic statement, but it is a good demonstration of what you can do.
And it just continues to be a weekend full of surprises. We had G2 falling, now we have Mad Lions beating Fnatic in what was for sure a closer matchup on paper, but still a surprise to see in the end. Mad Lions already trying to say as we go closer towards the end of the first round robin, like we are a team to be reckoned with. We want to get into playoffs, we want to see if we can go deep too.
Do we have any indication around our top 6 with more certainty? Because I feel like we now have more questions than we did answers. It's been a running theme for our last 2 games.
I have so many questions, Trevor. Like, what